Okay, hey guys, this is my first video. Basically this video is just going to be about why I chose to go in the Navy, the things that I've done so far, and some questions I have. I have this journal. I write everything in it. I write about all the questions I have. I write about the goals I want to do. I write about the Navy. I write about all the stuff I need to do in here as well. I was attending Central State University. I'm a sophomore. Well, now I'm going to be a junior. I enjoyed my time there. It was really fun. It's the HBCU, so it was a really big difference from growing up in the suburbs, and I really enjoyed that experience. And I made a lot of lifetime friends there, most definitely. But unfortunately, some of you may have experienced this. Financial aid isn't all that it's made to be, especially for kids who have parents who have more than one job. My dad works 2 jobs and mom works 1 job, so they look at that as 3 jobs in the home. So they think that you have money and you can just pay for school out of pocket. But no, it's not like that. I have a little brother. They're still taking care of him and everything, and we have a house and everything. They still got bills. It's like all their money is going to my college tuition. But anyways, I was looking into the military before I even went away to school, just because I knew it was something that I wanted to do. But when I was at Central State, I did ROTC for a semester, and I loved it. It was really fun. I liked how we had responsibility. I felt special because I was in ROTC, because not everyone did that. That was something that was special to me, and it was just a great experience. I met a lot of new people. I learned a lot about the military. It was Army ROTC, so I didn't want to commit to being contracted because I didn't know if I wanted to be in the Army, and I don't. So that's why I didn't continue to do ROTC. Plus, they weren't really giving out scholarships or anything for people who weren't contracted. And we had to wake up at like 6:30 in the morning. 6:30 in the morning, go work out. We had to do like land navigation. We had to go on trips, so we did land nav. Then we were going around like simulations, like clearing houses with paintball guns and everything. So it was really cool, and we got to shoot like guns and stuff. It was cool. But I wasn't about to do all that and not get paid for it or get a scholarship for that. So I ended up not doing that anymore. So back to the financial aid. So my financial aid is crappy. So I want to finish school, and I don't want to be in debt and have tons of loans. So I was like, well, I might as well look into joining the Navy, because I have family friends who are in the Navy, and it seems to be like the most diverse branch that I've researched so far, just because a lot of people have a misconception that the Navy is only at sea, which is incorrect, because they do have aircrafts and they have crafts that are on land as well. So I could be, an airman but still be in the Navy, which is pretty cool. So that's what I'm banking for. I don't really want to be at sea forever. I really don't, because one of my friends from high school, he just wrote on my page talking about how he has been at sea for 360 days. That's a long time. I don't want to be at sea for that long. No. But at the same time, you get to travel the world and get to see so many different places, which is really cool. Twitter. But, so yeah, so I took the initiative, I was away at school and trying to figure things out, how I'm going to pay for school and this, that, and everything. So I was looking into the Navy. I was doing some research when I came home. I came home for a week before school was over, because I was basically done with class. So I wanted to come home and come visit. So while I was at home, I was looking at my options, looking at a couple of different things. I had requested for somebody to call me and talk to me about the Navy. So I went to their website, put my number in, said I want to get more info. So they emailed me and they called me. I didn't really like having people call me about it because it was always the wrong time. So I'd always be like, yeah, this is me, but I'm not able to talk right now. So eventually I just told them to stop calling me. And then I got the number for the recruiter by my house, which is in Waukegan. And I personally made a phone call when I had time. So I called and I asked a couple of questions. Really, initially, I was thinking about the reserve. That's what I initially was going to get into. Because I was looking online and it said that, they offer tuition for people who serve at least, it's like 120 or 140 days consecutively in the reserve, and you get full tuition. So I was thinking that, and then it was like, okay, well, you're going to be able to, so you're going to go to basic training, and then you're going to go and learn whatever, skill you need to learn for your job that's for the Navy. And then you come back, and then you go on base twice a month, and then you just live your life. And I was thinking, okay, that's awesome. That's really cool. Because I got accepted into the Academy of Arts in San Francisco. So I was like, alright, cool. I could use that, to go to school and have a little money on the side. But then I was looking more into it, and I was comparing and contrasting being reserve and just enlisted. There are more benefits being enlisted. Simple as that. Like, what was the difference? Okay, well, this is a big thing that I was kind of iffy about. I was kind of iffy about it because I was like, well, I don't know where I'm gonna be. I don't know where I'm gonna be stationed. Like, I don't know. I don't really have a say of where I want to go necessarily. That's what I thought, and that's the whole reason why I didn't want to do enlisted in the beginning. But then I made an appointment with my recruiter, Booker, and yesterday I went in, and at first they interview over the phone, and they ask you tons of questions to make sure you're not a criminal, not a drug addict, basically that you're a good person and you're qualified to join the Navy. So I did that. I passed that little phone questionnaire or whatever. So then we scheduled for me to come in on Monday, which was yesterday, and I went in, and unfortunately he wasn't there when I got there. So I talked to a different recruiter. He asked me all the same questions again. They're gonna ask you these questions like every time they see you, basically. So they asked me the same questions again. Asked me, my weight, if I do drugs, if I ever had a felony, if I ever got in trouble with the police, if you're a citizen, everything. They want to know everything about you, everything. They asked me to bring my birth certificate. They asked me to bring my high school diploma. They asked me to bring my social security card. They need everything. So I brought those things, I answered all those questions, and then my recruiter that I had scheduled a meeting with, he came in and he made me take a test. Now this test is like a practice for your ASVAB, and basically it's like the same thing, but you need to score a certain amount on that practice test in order for you to take the ASVAB. So for the Navy, you had to score a 50. I scored over a 50. So like I was in the clear. So now all I have to do is take my ASVAB, and then I have to go to MEPS. The only thing is they advise you to study for your ASVAB. Even if you get a really good score, I got a really good score on the practice test. But even if you get a really good score on the practice test, you should practice for your ASVAB, because what you score on your ASVAB is like gonna allow you to do certain jobs. So if you score really bad, you're gonna be cleaning or cooking somewhere or something like that. Well, I don't know about cooking, but you're gonna be cleaning, wiping up toilets, cleaning, and I don't want to do that. So if you score higher, you could be an airman, which I want to do. Or you could do like combat, or you could do, there's a lot of different things that you could do correlating to what you score on your ASVAB. So in preparing for that, I'm going to go to the bookstore today and get ASVAB for Dummies and study that, because there's a lot of stuff that the only part that I thought was hard about the test was the math, because you don't get to use a calculator, so you have to remember, okay, dividing. I'm in college and I haven't had math in like 2 years, so I'm kind of rusty. But for the math, yeah, you have to multiply fractions, divide fractions, find the square root of things, all that. Like, back in the day, I used to be A1 with that, but I haven't done that in a minute, so I definitely need that ASVAB book so I could study that without a calculator. You cannot use a calculator, you cannot use your phone, you can't use anything. This is all just in your brain, just getting it going. And it's, and the practice test that I took, it was timed. And I didn't even get to finish all my questions, so I think I would have done better if I finished all my questions, but sometimes on certain things I would run out, like word problems, I would run out of time, so I didn't even get a chance to answer those. But I'm not sure if ASVAB is timed. I'm sure it is. I've been looking on the YouTube, and it seems like the ASVAB is like 3 hours. It's just like a SAT type of deal, type of thing. Like, you know, when you took your SATs or whatever you took in whatever state you're in, you have a certain amount of time, and it's like an hour for this part, hour for that part, hour for this part, whatever. But okay, so once I scored and I did good and everything, they were really nice actually when I went in there. I was kind of scared and skeptical when I first went in there, just because it's like I've heard a lot of stories where some recruiters, they try to take advantage of you and you're just kind of like another number to them. So when you go in there, it's just like, okay, they're really trying to get you to join, and, you know, trying to swindle you to do what they want to become an enlisted person. But they're really cool. They're just like, alright, we're gonna take a test, you're gonna do awesome, you're going to Vernon Hills High School, oh yeah, you're gonna do good, it's a really good school. So I was like, okay. So I went, did my test, did good. Then afterwards, they're like, okay, so we sat down and we talked about all the different options. At first, when I came in there, I wanted to do reserve, but then I was talking to the recruiter. He went in as enlisted, and he was telling me about all the benefits of going as enlisted, because my main focus is to finish school and get my degree. And the only reason why I didn't want to go enlisted was because I felt like if I go enlisted, it's going to conflict with my education. But I was wrong. But he told me that there are a lot of different options that you could do while you're enlisted. Say for instance, okay, we're not at a time of war, so most likely we're just going to be, if I'm on a ship, we're going to be shipping to different places, doing routine things, yada yada yada. We're not bombing anyone, we're not doing any of that. So, you know, you might be at ship for this many days, what have you, and say your ship docks and you're stationed, say I'm stationed in California. They have a base in San Diego. So say I'm there. Whatever schools are in the area, whatever universities are in the area, they usually have programs for people who are enlisted, so they can go and take classes to go towards their degree. That's one option. So I can go to class wherever I'm at. As long as they have a college, I can go and take classes. And as long as they get a C or better, they'll pay for it. Awesome. Another option is they have kind of like people who volunteer, teachers who volunteer. I don't know if it's volunteer, but that's what he made it seem like. Okay, volunteer, and they come aboard the ship and they give classes on the ship, and you get credit for those classes. Boom. The other thing was they had I don't know all the names for everything yet, so excuse me, I'm sorry, I can't tell you exactly what the name is of each program. But the other program is kind of cool. Basically what it is, if you feel like you can pass the class without taking the class and just study for like the final, then what you do is you just study for the final, whatever is required of you to learn and to know for that final, you learn that, and then once you learn everything, you're able to take a test, and that test will determine if you can basically opt out of the class and just get the credit, which is pretty sweet. So that's another option. So those three options already, like, I was like, yeah, if I can go to school and make more money and be able to gain an experience, why not? So that kind of made me want to do enlisted more as well. And then there was one more thing I was gonna say. What was it? I'm really. Oh, yes. Okay. So my recruiter, he's not really a person for college or whatever. That's why he joined the Navy, because he didn't want to go to school and he wanted to better himself through something else, which is pretty cool. To each his own. But what I didn't know was, while you're at basic training and training for your job in the Navy, while you're at school, I think it's called aid school. I don't know all the names yet, like I said, sorry. Basically, you get college credit while you're away, while you're missing whatever semester you're supposed to be in school, just for basic training, and you're training for your job and everything. You get college credit to go toward your degree. That was awesome. He got 18 credits just for being at boot camp and doing his aid school stuff. Like, that was sweet. I thought that was really sweet. That's awesome. That was another plus. So they're really, how do you say, they're really into you guys, everybody, getting their education, because they have so many resources. And if you don't use their resources, then they're just going to take them away. So they want everybody to use their resources. Why not? If you can go to school for free, if you can opt out of classes and gain, credits toward your degree, why not do that? They're trying to make your life easier because you're doing something for them and doing a great cause and being very noble. So they're making sure in everything that you're able to go ahead and handle your business, as well as handle your business so once you're out of the military, you can go further in life. But my video is already at 17 minutes, so I'm going to make another one and I'm going to upload it.